retouch. So a tint retouch you would do on someone when they'd had their hair colored and their new growth has grown in and they end up with a line of demarcation for the new growth coming in. You want to make sure that you put on your PPE, you want to make sure you're wearing gloves and a cape to protect your clothing. And today for this, I'm just using a little bit of conditioner. If you wanted to try this at home, you could grab a family member, you could grab a brush, a paintbrush from the dollar store, and a bowl and some cheap conditioner and throw it in there, okay? So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to start off with our quad section, okay? So you're going to take your client and you're going to create a quad section on there, and you're going to start by taking each section and just putting a little bit of the conditioner or color down onto the regrowth area. So you're going to start at the front and you're going to work your way to the back, just laying a little bit of conditioner. It's important not to overlap the demarcation line because you can cause another demarcation line, or you could cause breakage if you were working with a high lift color or a lightener. Okay, so you're going to go through and you're going to make your section from here to here, and then you're going to come across and you're going to do another section from the top of the apex down behind the ear. Okay, and then you're going to go through and you're going to put your color just in the regrowth area on both sections. I would never stand like this when I was doing a real clamp, but I want to make sure you can see it. Once you've got your quad section done, so from here to here and here to here, then you're going to do both of your quad sections. Now, whether you do the front or the back is going to be decided on whether or not they have hard to cover gray hair at the front. Everybody's hairline is finer, and so the hair is going to grab a lot more in the front than it is going to do in the back. So if I was using a high lift blonde on my hair and I did the application at the front first, I'd have a lighter hairline, or if I was doing a darker color, I'd have a dark band hairline around the front, and nobody wants that. So generally, most times you start at the back, but if you do have a client who's got some hard to cover gray patches in the front, I would apply it there first. The reason I would do that is it's going to give it a longer time to process, and a permanent hair color would take anywhere from 35 to 45 minutes to process. So I've got my quad sections, and now I'm going to start in the back in my little triangle pie shape, and I'm going to come across and I'm going to hold the hair up at 90 degrees, and I'm just going to put my color in at the root area. I'm going to take my next section, really nice fine sections, and I'm going to apply just on the regrowth area. The one thing that I find that people will make a mistake at this point is they start to come down and they're starting to hold a bunch of hair in their hand, and they're not used to doing this, is they'll get kind of lazy and they'll lay their hand down onto the head. What happens then is then you're going to transfer color onto the midshaft where you never wanted it in the first place. So you have to make sure that you're holding your hand up at 90 degrees. If you have really long hair, you can let it go and it'll stay. But generally you want to hold it quite tight so that you've got a good tension on the hair and you're making sure that those little hairs don't get in. Okay? So you're going to go through, you're going to do this section, then you're going to do this section, and then you're going to come along to the front and you're going to do these sections up at the front, going across. Nice straight sections. Okay, so once you've got all your sections done, you want to double check to make sure that you get the front of the hairline. The front tends to be the place where product dries out the quickest on a real person. And so you really want to make sure that you've taken that color and you've laid it on quite nice and thick around the hairline. Another place that I find people will miss is right behind the ear here. Okay? Hope you have fun. Thank you.